We know that vast numbers of people have been lifted out of poverty in the last 15, 20 years, which is fantastic. But they've tended to be, on the whole, people who are already still poor, but relatively better off. They were closer to the average, if you like. What the SDGs are now explicitly trying to do, and this is being called Leave No One Behind, is basically what it says on the tin. Make sure that the very poor people, or people who are excluded or marginalised because perhaps they're older, or they live in rural areas, or they're disabled, are included in this progress. There's a real danger that if governments don't start acting now, then not only is Leave No One Behind not going to happen, but the whole of the SDG agenda is going to fail, basically. Our new report quantifies for the first time the costs of governments delaying action, and we show that for sub-Saharan Africa, for instance, if we want to reduce the number of people living on less than $1 a day, that's really the minimum they need to survive. Governments need to, if they start today, they need to double their rates of progress on this. If they leave it for 3 years, it gets harder. If they leave it for 6 years, they're going to have to treble their progress. You see how difficult that's going to be. While we look at the costs of delay, we also look at the possibilities of achieving significant improvements with even the poorest and the most marginalised people in just 3 years. And that's sometimes in the poorest countries as well. So Eritrea, for instance, got 5,000 children into school. These were children of nomadic herders who'd previously been excluded from school. They got them into school in just 2 years. That's an extraordinary achievement. Our new report shows why governments need to take early action, so that's within the first 3 years of the SDGs. It shows that we're talking about the art of the possible, and it also calls for there to be a high-level summit at the end of that 3 years to check in on progress.